Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Hope everyone had a good weekend.
Can't help it. She's fucking insane.
So Leticia's live, so I feel like I need to go live and I've been praying for my channel, y'all. Absent fathers and affordable futures. Hey, good morning. Well, I don't know what time it is there. Portland Peculiar. Did she do a live yesterday? Did I miss it?
Up getting my YouTube payment today. It was just like a day late, and let me see if I can adjust this. I've been having some difficulties with this, and I really don't want to break it. I'm trying. Okay, there we go. It's a little bit better. Okay, so my current circumstances. We all know I went to private school. I didn't quite have the best, interactions with anyone, so I always stayed away. I was very avoidant, always trying not to be a burden, because when I would try to tell people about what was going on, like say at home, about any of the trauma or the abuse, nobody really wanted to hear any of that. And they were like, well, Leticia, no, that's not normal. That's exactly what they would tell me when I would disclose the stuff that was happening. And inevitably, I just got to the point where I just kept my mouth shut about everything. And I realized then thereafter that damned me, because keeping my mouth shut only hurt me.
I know, I'm so confused. Like, I know I went live yesterday. Actually, yeah, it was yesterday morning I went live. And then I got busy. So if she went live again, I just didn't even worry about it. I'll try to catch up with her on my other channel. But this is her going live this morning. Okay. Hello, Kate. I'm glad you're here.
I had sustained a lot of abuse. Hello, everybody. I sustained a lot of abuse, weird abuse too. It wasn't normal. And that's why I convert back to my childishness to try to detach from the additional abuse and trauma that's going on in this day and age. I know that everything can be traced back to childhood, as well as in utero. People don't believe any of that. Some people don't, but in actuality, what we place into ourselves, the energy, the additives, the nutrition, the education, any efforts. People tell me I don't place effort into things. I place plenty of effort into things, and when I do, I excel. But why would I want to excel when I am not getting any rewards from it? I didn't think that I needed much for a reward, because when I was a child, those little gold stickers and everything, that's what I worked for, is the praise of the teacher. And because I didn't get very much praise when I would give my parents, my straight A's, they didn't care. I was a girl, and they wanted their boys to succeed, because they knew the harshness of this reality, which is boys are the ones that rule everything. And although everyone said in the 90s growing up, you're a girl and you matter and you bring the babies, and maybe one day you'll have babies, But like, I never wanted to just be some crazy fucking housewife like my mom. Like, I'm just going to be straight up honest. I love my mom. I do still, even to this day. I can't help it. She's fucking insane and I love her. And like, and yes, lately I do bitch at her and cuss her out, but I feel like she deserves it at this point. Like, she wasn't listening when I was a kid, so she might as well get that energy back at her. Like, here's all my teenage angst, only like tenfold because we didn't solve this when when we were young, so here's the cycle. And that's what happens, is that you return that energy back and forth, and it doesn't ever solve itself, because and then the future generations are the ones that suffer, because that's how the mind is. That's how the world works. That's how chemistry works. That's how the physiological effects, as well as the psychological, that determine our success in this day and age. So I understood that I had these disorders like borderline personality.
Hey, full bingo. I know it's so hard. Whenever I try to do pre-recorded videos of her, I can't. It's so aggravating. It's so much easier and so much better whenever I have y'all with me. It really is. We're like each other's support group. I'm so curious where she's going to end up in life, because she just really wants someone to take care of her.
Personality, where I just sort of give up. I just don't give a shit. Why would I care? If anybody wants me to see me alive, then they'll help me, because at this point I've detached. And I understand people that have had issues with falling into bad habits because of these things. And I chose not to do it that harshly. My bad habits are sugar. Like, I have a bad habit of eating a shit ton of sugar. And like, I got myself some cake right now because it was on sale and it was vegan. And I thought, $3 for this slice of cake. Well, I shouldn't be eating that much sugar anyway, so I might as well splurge on the more expensive stuff, and then I eat less. And it's true. I consume a lot less of it. I'm just pregnant right now and just consuming everything, and that's why I make videos, which I'll be posting one of myself eating another scramble with vegan, or the avocado toast. So yeah, I'm trying to do my best, and I'm trying to persuade others into doing their best as well. And also, please don't fuck with me. Like, I'm literally about to give birth. Like, I don't want to get fucked with, but instead I get woken up this morning by a bunch of random messages talking about this nonsense about how I'm a terrible mother because I don't want to keep the baby. And I'm like, mind your own. I mind your own. I would love to keep the baby. In my fucking crazy dreams, because I'm a crazy person, I wish I would have gotten to know the.
I think, yeah, I agree with all of that, what y'all said. Yeah, I hate that she gets the views, because she's monetized. She gets super chat. She gets paid from YouTube. She just got paid today. I wish people would stop texting her, calling her, leaving her comments about you're a horrible mom because you don't want to keep the baby. We don't want her to keep the baby. She does not need to keep the baby. We need to think about the baby's safety, and the baby is not safe with her. So people do not need to even be putting that in her mind. Maybe she'll get a wake-up call in jail.
The father. I wish I would have had a relationship with him, and that's just it. It's just because he is chemically, like, he is genetically the father of this child, and I do not think it was the first dude. It just doesn't line up with the time frame. And also, I was regulating myself. I just don't understand it. And she started talking about how I was a whore, and I was like, bitch, you don't even know what a fucking whore is. Like, I've had sex with 3 different dudes in one day, and none of them like cared. None of them fucking cared. They all knew. I was honest. I was open. I was being a slut. This is like after my divorce, I lost fucking track of everything and just was like blindsided on all these pharmaceuticals. Didn't know how to regulate myself anymore. And everybody's like, no, these lithium tablets and Xanax, that'll help you. Bitch, no, it didn't. Made it 10 times worse. And then she starts talking about how you need to get off the weed. Bitch, no, leave me alone. Like, please just leave me alone. I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't. I'm just completely avoidant. Completely avoidant. I know what my disorders are. I confront them. I rationalize them. That's why I go around not fucking with anybody. If I've got the money, I'm fine. So I was fine today. I, showered up a little bit, rinsed off, because I showered yesterday. So, my hair's up and I'm in this big moo dress again. And that's nice because then I don't have to be like everything that's tight fitting. Oh my God, I was so happy like a year ago about how my body was looking 9 months ago, especially. And like, what happened? I knew I was losing a lot of weight, but what happened? I am completely confused. This person keeps saying, and they must be the same people, I don't know, or the same group of people that are harassing me from different numbers and all that stuff. It keeps saying that I was, maybe subconsciously, I wanted very badly to just be with someone. And maybe Jason had that for a moment too, and that's what created this baby. But I knew, and she's kept talking shit about how if I wouldn't have talked crazy to him, maybe we would have still been in a relationship. How am I not going to talk crazy to him when he physically touched me in the middle of the night? Like, I'm not okay with that. I mean, and then she was like, well, that wasn't, it wasn't rape. And I'm like, well, in my mind, it felt like I was still asleep. Please don't touch me. I got very scared. I went, pretended to be slightly asleep and then actually did doze off a bit. So I wasn't really fully awake. And then I realized then it was already in. It's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can do. I mean, just because I didn't roll over and smack him off me and say no, because I didn't want to get hit. This guy was touching me in the middle of the night. These kind of crazy people, unless they've got like a sensible, and then she said like, well, why did you want a relationship? And I was like, I just wanted to see what he would say. It's not that I was seeking it. It was just more like, why would somebody do that? Why would anybody do that? Why would you confuse me like that?
Okay, first of all, y'all are definitely going to hear my baby in the background. She's at home with mommy today. She's working with mom. That is all so false. Good morning, not used. Everything she is saying is not true. Like, she's, like always, just constantly contradicting herself. Like, and whenever she says, what am I going to do? Just hit him off of me? Yeah. How do look, we've seen how you treat your brother. So why don't you treat other people like that? And why? No, if someone raped you, you wouldn't be like, oh, I just wanted to see what he would say. Bullshit. I know. I'm so glad y'all know, like, I have my kids. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I mean, everyone has their own opinions, but if I got pregnant whenever I got raped, I would keep my baby. I would, that's not the baby's fault. Like, I wouldn't want to be with the fucking person who did it. I wouldn't even want that person in the kid's life. It's just weird. Yeah, and she went back for more. She even pretty much asked for more. It was just ridiculous.
So she said, well, so if you would have wanted a relationship, you wouldn't have called rape. And then I said, well, yeah, because then he wanted to be with that person. Like, some men are just stupid. They're animalistic. They're barbaric in that way. They're just very unevolved. And they can't contain themselves. And I can understand that if it's a certain degree of arousal, that if they want to make right by the lady, then they'll do it. But he wasn't, and he was avoidant of it. That's all it was. So don't try to tell me and fool me into thinking that he just wanted me, and then all of a sudden he just stopped talking to me. And when I told him about the baby, I waited a week for a response. That's not okay. That is not okay. We have to immediately drop everything we're fucking doing and just be like, oh, yep, there's a baby inside of me. Hold on. I can't eat sushi. The fuck with you? Who the fuck told you I can't eat sushi, bitch? So, yeah, and I understand. Like, I understand that there's guidelines, there's regulations, and people were pissed off that I was smoking weed. So she's trying to tell me that, or yeah, it must be a she. Because quit pissing me off, bitch. And I told her, I was like, you filthy cunt. Like, and she said something about, like, I know I've been a whore before. And I was like, well, I wasn't seeking to be a whore at that time. I may have had sex with 4 people in December, the month of December. Yes, I was hoeing around. It was after December 2nd, that incident, that made me realize, I was like, oh my God, I am not okay. I am not okay. I'm going to seek comfort in the arms of all the men I can fucking find, because that happens sometimes. And we all know, we're all human, that we revert back to our bad habits when we're in that moment of weakness. So yeah, I don't understand why I'm still getting reprimanded for something. And I know everybody knows I'm innocent in that way. Like, innocent in the way that, like, I did really not want to do that. I didn't want to continue on and add to my number when, I know how proud men are of how high their number is. When a woman does it, it makes her feel terrible, because that's all of this nasty, like, penises are gross. They're very filthy. They're very filthy. You put your hands on it all day, then you don't wash your hands. What were you touching prior? You were walking around touching the gas pumps, touching everything else, and then you just straight up touch your penis. So imagine all that bacteria that we're picking up from touching handles, from touching all of these, equipment, mechanical stuff. You're touching all of that. And you just placed all of that inside of my vagina because you didn't wash up. Like, have some respect. Have a little fucking respect. But no, you don't understand that. And then you complain that we've got an infection.
Yeah, just like Amber Heard, you do not speak for the rest of us, women or victims, okay? Speak for your own. Hey, Janelle.
Oh, I'm sorry. Where did we get that infection? I don't go around sticking my fingers in there. I don't go around touching it at all. I leave it alone because that's disgusting to me. Like, I don't understand why blood comes out of it every month. Like,
oh my gosh, she is such a liar. Because hey, baby girl. Hey, calm down. I want you to go take it in the tent. I always remember the things that are like TMI or disgusting or pisses me off. Here she is lying again, because a few videos ago she was saying that I know it's TMI, but she plays with herself. Okay. And now she's saying, oh, it's disgusting. I don't ever do that. You just admitted the other day you do.
I still don't get it. I still am freaked the fuck out. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. And to not have my period for the last 9 months, I kept thinking to myself, maybe it'll just show up. Maybe this isn't real. Maybe this isn't really a baby. Maybe this cannot be real. Like, there's no way. I already have to be traumatized for fucking 4 to 5 days every fucking month, and just God gushing out fucking uterus. Why? And then people wonder, they're like, why are bitches crazy? Because, god damn it, it's everywhere. I can't stop it. Just thinking about giving birth, this is going to freak me the fuck out. This is going to be horrible. Like, fucking horrendous. And then by myself, and then this bitch is like, go to the hospital. They won't steal your baby. And then she was also saying, you're never going to get paid from YouTube again. Well, I got paid. Apparently, you're fucking in denial. So if I go to the hospital, they're going to take my baby immediately. And then I'm not going to get the moment to fucking relax with him and just say my goodbyes. That's insane. People are crazy and they're so mean. They're so cruel. And then it's just like, and then we just have to swallow it and go on with our business. So I've realized now not to have any emotion toward anything. Why have any emotion toward the fact that anything could happen at any time? And you have to realize you have to live without anything at any time. I could live without my vehicle right now and I would still probably manage, because I would explain to people the honest truth and then they would tell me. Normally they would help me. And that's how it is. For me, I'm just so genuine and transparent, and I ask for help when I need it, truly need it. And and then people think I'm too demanding. Yes, maybe I am. Maybe it's because I am disabled. Like, I'm classified as a disabled citizen. I have a lot of mental issues. I'm highly stressed constantly. That's why I smoke so much weed. And I shouldn't smoke so much weed. I shouldn't have smoked so much weed. But had I had a place, had I been able to relax, I probably wouldn't have smoked it all during the pregnancy. I would have waited and just let him be. And then also, too, like afterward, not smoked while I was breastfeeding him, just out of respect for him, because it's what I did for Tootsie. So I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. But then I guess everything happens for a reason. So this is a good experiment for everyone else too, to see how this kid turns out and see how this kid is going to be all damaged psychologically because his father didn't want him and his mother stopped wanting him months ago because she knew that they would never be kind to her. It hurts. It hurts very much. It hurts. That's what people say. There's nothing.
Like, that is so sad. And how selfish of her. So you didn't want your son months ago because you realized how they would be mean to you? Cool. I wouldn't give a fuck what anybody ever thought about me by me keeping my baby. I don't care. I don't give a damn. That's my baby. I'm going to keep my baby. I don't care what anybody says or thinks.
Nothing wrong with smoking weed. I just didn't want to violate him, like, in any way. That's why I only went off, and she was, like, talking about being a whore. Bitch! I had so many goddamn offers of fucking dick during this fucking pregnancy, and that's insane. That's insane. Like, you don't even realize. What in the fuck is wrong with you? If I wanted to be a whore, I'd be a fucking whore. Like, out of respect, I just wanted to be like, okay, either the dad's gonna come back, or no, none of it. Like, get this thing away from me and I'll start fresh next year. Fuck this. And that's what it's like. Starting fresh. Jiggly ass arm and shit. Look at that. 150 pounds and then gain 30 back. Fuck. My life. So, anyway, and I was saying too about, like, my future. So I was thinking about it because everybody's trying to convince me to trap myself into keeping this baby. I'm not going to trap myself into keeping some random dude's baby that didn't want shit to do with me, that was a fucking asshole. Fucking asshole. Oh my God, I didn't want shit to do with him. Like, and sometimes I think, no, opposites attract. That's funny as hell. That is funny as hell. Oops. But no, it's not funny. It's not funny at all. It makes me fucking pissed off. The whole fucking ordeal. I was not wanting to breed. I wasn't wanting to breed on my own. Like, if I would have had a mate, then maybe. If I would have had a partner, then maybe. But no. No. I don't see that anything good is happening from this. I don't see anything aside from I've been able to barely fucking function. I see no positives. I've lost all my money. I had to spend a bunch of money on clothing because my fucking fat ass couldn't fit in anything. All of it. All of it. And then it's like, how are you supposed to be on that fucking higher frequency and be happy when all this shit's happening to you all at once? The world is going to shit. There's so many homeless people. There's people that are more impoverished than you just sitting around you. So then you just have to swallow it and be like, okay, I'm fine. At least I've got a fucking car compared to this person. At least I don't have to stand on the corner in the fucking hot ass sun and have a sign saying, please help me and my baby. Like, at least I've got the little bit of comforts and the privileges that I managed to procure prior to becoming homeless and everything that managed to get me to where I am at this point. And that's saying, when I got out of fucking jail 3 years ago, I had lost everything. The home that I had acquired, for 10 years I had lived there. Yes, it went to shit a little bit with the mice and everything and the roaches because I couldn't handle it anymore. I was over 300 pounds at that point. I couldn't manage. There were so many psych meds. I just couldn't. I had a boyfriend at that time that I was kind of like, he was just there as a fucking, what is the word? Where you want something just in the room, just like as an object in that way. And I felt terrible because I wasn't using him. He was using me, and he was like living off of my stuff. So it wasn't like that. It was kind of symbiotic, but he was just kind of like another presence because I had already lost my child. And at that point, I just needed something around, something alive, but aside from my dogs, because they don't talk. So, I mean, animals do talk to you, but just in a different manner. Like they don't speak human words to you, but in your whatever. People know what I'm talking about. Not that fucking crazy. So when I talk, people are like, oh my God, they usually listen because I'm not trying to persuade anybody into thinking anything crazy. Like if I know I've sensed something or if something's going on, that's why I felt terrible because I knew when he didn't fucking message back. I told him on the 22nd of December. And then like I tried to message him a little bit more. Told him Merry Christmas and everything. That hurts. It hurts to offer love to someone and offer compassion and offer fucking respect to someone and they just fucking ignore you. That is the worst goddamn pain. And it's just like, fuck it. That's when it's like when dudes stop giving a fuck about women. And I know, because it's just like, fuck it. I gave you my fucking heart through my goddamn words and shit. And I did not get physical with this fucking piece of shit. I could have easily snapped. I could have easily fucking flipped out on him. I was kind and I was
Okay, well, apparently at one point you did flip out on him. That's whenever he was like, okay, she's too crazy for me. But if I feel bad, yeah, I do. I mean, everyone kind of goes through that. But my thing is, they were strangers. They didn't even know each other. They met on a dating app for what, a couple of days, and then she drove 4 hours to see him. So how is she so caught up in feeling this way towards him? Like, girl, you don't even know if you like him. Like, y'all don't know each other like that. And you damn shouldn't, because if he did that to you, supposedly, then I don't know why you would.
Patient with this bitch, and I don't give a fuck what I say. I don't. Men are pussies. They can't handle the fucking truth. They can't handle themselves. They can't handle, any of that shit. Him being absent during the entire pregnancy. And then they were talking about how, he's first in line for the DNA test, whatever. I don't care. I don't care whose it is. I just want it away from me, just like everybody else. Just like everybody else. I just don't want it anymore. I don't want whatever fake ass fucking shit people are trying to lure me, gaslight me into thinking that they matter or that I matter or that any of this matters. It's absurd. My whole life. And then I just have to say, you people piss me off. Like, that's it. What is the point? You people are so fucking sick and dumb. It's wasteful to shed my tears over trash and nonsense. People don't understand themselves. They don't understand what they do to others. They don't understand the repercussions of their actions. They don't realize that 10 years down the line, that's going to affect somebody in a certain way, or 5 years, or a year, or 5 minutes, or how long that's going to last, you know? So, anyway, he's been absent this whole time, but everybody wants to give him the baby. And I'm like, go for it. I don't care. I don't care. He was with someone else. That's why he didn't respond around Christmas. And let him be happy with someone else, because I'm obviously not his lady of the night. All right. What he did with me, that was sick and a sin and lustful and terrible. And that's just how it goes. That's why I went back to my faith. And I thought to myself, you know, that's what happens with nuns and things like that. That's what happens with these women that, they have these little bastard children and they have to be secreted away, and then the children are removed, and that's how society wants it. Society doesn't want to see a bunch of unwed, you know children, and the parents fighting over money and fighting over child support. And if you didn't want the child, why'd you fuck? It's same concept. Back in the day, you were like, shit happened to you. Like, they literally would behead you and crap like that. They would kill the woman for having had this child. And I don't understand. I just don't understand. I don't want to be a nun because they have to give up all their worldly possessions. And that seems harsh because I want to smoke some weed, man. Like, that's a worldly possession, and that's something and I feel like it's medicine. So, like, if it were medicine, can't you categorize it as that? Can't you actually, like, offer this underneath our insurance, because that's my proper medication and it keeps me stabilized? And yes, I smoked right before doing this video, so that's why I'm not sitting here freaking out like everybody said. Well, she freaks out, she blah blah blah, she throws things. Well, maybe during fucking pharmaceutical time, yeah, like all those pills on pills on pills. So, but yeah, hopefully those kids don't hear me. Like, that's terrible. I don't like to have in the middle of a discussion, be like, oh, I'm sorry, you didn't understand that. Like, there's some dirty, filthy things in the world, let me tell you, and it's everywhere. And just because we're in a little suburb or some really nice little town doesn't mean shit. Like, crazy is crazy, and it is everywhere. And usually it's with the people that have money because they have nothing else better to do with their time. And I understand. When you struggle, it makes you work harder. It makes you work harder to survive. So that's what the concept was of having to make money at such a low, rate and everything like that. Because you can't just offer money to people. People are like, oh, the world doesn't owe you anything. I'm sorry, what? What? Didn't my parents pay for me to be born here? Didn't my parents pay taxes for me growing up? Didn't my parents afford for me for at least 18 years? Like, does that not account for any of my privileges, any of my allotments, any of my, and I worked as well since I was 15. So what, are you going to negate that fact? Are you just going to denounce that I put efforts into trying to stabilize myself as an individual, as an independent woman that didn't go off and have sex with everybody, that wasn't a little whore? So you don't tell me that shit. I really hate that people call me in between that, because I have to keep thumbing it And it's like, stop. Please just stop. No one cares about you. Why are you calling a million times? The one day it was like 100 and something while I was on live. Why are you calling me like this? What is wrong with you? There's nothing right about this. I don't want to feel these feelings. I don't want to feel this aggression and this anger. And it's like, why? Why keep me from the things that I wanted to do? Why keep me from being able to progress? I had to have this child. It was placed inside of me, and I had to be responsible because the father's absent, and we weren't in a relationship whatsoever. So it's not like I've gotten any assistance at all. I've been the only one affording for this kid, sheltering it, feeding it, all of it. I'm trying so hard not to be angry. Looks like here's another person living out of their vehicle. There's so many of us out here. So many of us just trying to make our way. And I tell people all the time, just make sure you clean up after yourself. And then that way you're not causing a ruckus and people aren't trying to, disturb your peace. It's not like we're going around disturbing the peace. We weren't allotted much when we were growing up. We don't have anybody to fall back on. That's why we're doing that, a majority of us. And some of us, because we're forced into this situation, we're very confused and scared all the time. And no wonder we do bad habits or try to cope in negative ways sometimes, like me overeating and splurging a little too much there.
Splurging. Hello, Holt. We are just catching up on Leticia's live. Not sure if you know who she is or what's going on with her. Scary and crazy. Exactly. 100% agree. Full.
There financially, like on my fancy water, because I could just get bottled water from Walmart. I just don't like that. Like, I mean, this is a brand they sell at Walmart, but, and I don't mean to be like talking about stuff like that, corporations, but at least Walmart has that parking lot area to where homeless people can sit there and park. And it's not fair to us that all these people have all the money and they don't know.
Hello, Red Rose.
How to evenly distribute it to the point where we can all survive, and have a little bit of something before the end. But some of these people suffer and suffer and suffer, like this family I had seen.
Hello, Red Rose.
Over there at the cafe that I went to. And I really wanted to help them. They looked like they were some type of South American. Either it was, Hispanic, or they were like Venezuelan or something. Because
Yes, she is staying home with mommy. It's buffering. I don't know if she is still live because it's towards the end. But I'm going to pause it for a second and see if that will help. But yes, baby bear is staying home with mom today. So I'm trying to work. And she's like so loud playing with Barbies. Okay, so I want to try to sum this up for Holt. Um, somebody recommended me check this girl out. Her name's Leticia Collins Servans. I couldn't really take much of her, but then I realized she was pregnant. And so I stuck around to make sure the baby was okay, because she was always constantly threatening to hurt the baby, unalive herself. She says the father of the child, she's supposedly a cuddler. She's homeless. She's been living in her car for 2 years. The person who she thinks is the father, she filed a false police report saying that he RAPED her. She had a warrant for that. And then she went to jail for a couple days. Then she got out. She went to a hospital a couple times because she tried to supposedly off herself, but I think she was really just trying to hurt the baby because she was trying to take a whole bunch of Tylenol PMs. What else? She has another warrant out for her arrest because of the falsifying report, and she keeps on threatening Jason. She's in her car. She's moved to she's drove to a different state. She is staying in her car, sometimes in a hotel room in a different state, because she's trying to, she smokes weed. So she wants to be able to, if worse comes to worse and she has to go to the hospital, in her head, she's thinking, okay, weed is legal here, so I'll be okay. And sadly, she might be able to walk out with the baby. All right, let me see. I'm going to, what? Okay. All right, let me go back a little bit and see if that will help. I hope that helps hold. I'm trying to summarize it up. Everyone thought Heather was bad, but oh my gosh, once you started watching Leticia,
homeless people can sit there and park. And
All right, sorry. She must have just ended her live, so now it's trying to put ads in with it. Yes, she did get her YouTube money today, she said. Okay, so this makes me feel better. I see in her chat she got cut off, and people are saying she probably has no idea she got cut off, and she's probably still talking to herself. Okay, so it's not us, it's her.
Imagine what would happen if every person in the United States suddenly visited your website. Would it crash? Not if you built your site on Wix. Here's how Wix handles traffic on a day-to-day basis. Unlike regular hosting providers where a site might run on one dedicated server, which is a single point of failure, Wix.com is rendered across tens of thousands of servers, which means we maintain a 90%
I am not sure what's going on with her live. It's about to aggravate me. Yeah, and that's what irritates me is that they have a warrant for her, but they're not doing anything about it, but whatever. Okay, yeah, I think I might just end this live, and if it pops back up, it pops back up because I think something happened to her live, and now the ads are coming up, and it's not. Something's wrong with it. All right. Well, thank y'all for jumping on. I'm sure I'll be back on soon. I hope y'all have a good day and a good week. I'll talk with y'all later.